So I don't get cleaned up or anything, and I don't wear cowboy clothes at all. I never have. I don't wear like cowboy boots, cowboy hat. But I've just got I look like a farmer, I guess, but I'm dirt, not filthy, but I mean I got dusty boots and got my vest on, and I drive into town, uh, right downtown Salt Lake. This place, Trolley Square, and I don't know what to expect, of course, at all. But I don't want to be there early, or I don't really want to see anybody. So it's perfect. I find a place to park, and I walk into this place, and it's big. I mean, there's 300 people there. Of course, with 300 people, there's no seats left but the front row. So I go up to the front row and sit down. I'm like exactly 2 minutes early. Perfect. And then this guy comes out. He's got his guitar, and he immediately apologizes and says that he doesn't look at people when he speaks, and he's sorry, but he doesn't do that. So he's just looking at the ground, and he's looking around, and introduces himself, and he starts telling these stories. And they're all really good to me, like really relatable to me. Just these stories about him and his uncle camping out on the desert for weeks and just dinking off, and how that makes you feel. How you just, I don't know, there's something about the space, and the pressure's off, and you just swear to God. The funniest thing was, he was like, you just swear to God you're going to go home and be a better person. And then, you're not. You go home and it's the exact same. So I really liked him. And then he starts telling about the book that was being released. Then it was don't, God damn it. Don't leave me. Don't. I'll tell you in a minute. Don't skip out on me. So he starts telling about this book, and he starts telling about the main character of this book, and I really like the character. The whole description. This kid is out in the wilderness as a sheep herder in the middle of Nevada, which I've been out there a lot, alone, for long periods of time. And this kid wants to be a boxer, so do I. He wants to be, but he's half Indian, Paiute Indian, and he's half white. So he claims to be Mexican because he wants to be a Mexican boxer. And the whole thing is really cool. And then he explains like how sad this boy is also. He's a sad character. And then he reaches for the book, and he's reading a couple of paragraphs. I can't remember them now, but they're about the kid's mom or the kid's family, or this kid wanting to find a world to belong in. And it's really sad and really well written. And right when, you're just like, Jesus Christ, you're going to wipe up and start crying a little bit because he's got you. It's really good. Right then, this son of a bitch reaches over and grabs his guitar. And he starts playing a song about what he just read. It's really good. And I wish that everyone could have a chance to see Willy Vlautin perform this particular kind of art, where he's a novelist and a songwriter. And he explains that. He explains how the songs turn into novels, or the novels produce songs. It's really good. So I'm like, well, damn it. I really enjoyed myself. But it doesn't mean that I'm happy being in downtown Salt Lake. And I'm such a bad person. I look around, and here's the thing. It's like a book signing or something like that. And I realize that this thing is wrapping up, and there's going to be a line, something that looks like a line, and then Willie. And I'm such a selfish bastard. I want to be in the front of this line, not in the middle, not even in the middle front. I want to be in the front of this line and then get the hell out of there and go home. So I have this little shuffle. I don't know if everybody has it or not. It's really bad. But I jump up and I have this little shuffle, like, I'm peeing my pants, or my mom just texted and she's dying. I have this little shuffle, like, I'm so sorry, but I gotta go. And I'm on the front row, but I don't care. I'm out of there. And sure enough, I go to the back of this auditorium, and into the bookstore, and there's a desk, and this is where the line's going to be, and I just beat everybody to the front of the line. Everybody except for this one dude. There's one guy in front of me. So, I'm spot on, and there's a clapping, and then this author comes and sits at the desk, and the guy in front of me isn't even there for anything about the book or anything. He just knows the author and says hello. They're friends or something. He says hello. They shake hands and he takes off, and it's me. It's my turn. So I tell him that I'm still really kind of overcome by the whole thing, and I just tell him extremely sincerely that I really, really enjoyed that a lot. And so he persists, and who are you, or why did you come? So I tell him the story about my friend Eric, and how Eric told me that I had to come, and that I run this ranch south of Salt Lake City, and I never go out. And he's like, thanks for coming out. And I'm like, no, it's my pleasure. I just never go out, and I really enjoyed myself. So then he tells me about his wife. She has some horses, and asking me about horses. And I got really quiet. I really got tired. I've retired from all that since, but I got really tired of talking to people about horses, because it just didn't ever go anywhere. It didn't work. So I got kind of quiet about that. But we're talking about a lot of other things, going out to the desert and all this stuff. And the whole time, he is a really personable, cool customer. Like, there's 300 people behind me, and he doesn't give a shit. He's talking to me, and that's what we're doing. We're talking. So, but I do. I'm getting kind of nervous. And so I tell him, look, give somebody else a chance here. This went on for a long time. But I'm like, hey, look, this is, I just want to buy all of your books. I love Lean on Pete, and I want to buy all your books. And he's like, shit, you don't buy the books here. You buy the books around the corner there at the bookstore. He goes, but I won't lose your place. We'll get you out of here. So I go buy 5 books. I didn't know he'd written 5 books. I buy them all. And then he just butts me back into the line. We continue to chat while he writes really personal and nice signed autographed copies of his book in the front. He says cool things about nurses, which we had talked about, and horses, which we had talked about, and for the Reno brothers, which now he knows I got my brother, Reno brother, and it was really fun. So from there, I went home and I read all of these books, and man, they're all really good. So I read them in order, realized that I had cheated. I like that about an author. So I went back to the first one, read that, and read them all. And of course, I'm glancing at the note that he wrote for me, thinking how cool that all was. And so I read these books, and then I'm just on fire with all my friends, about how great these books are. And so I'm telling them, and then I loaned 3 of these books out. So I give these books out, and a couple of months later, I'm asking, hey, did you like that book? Or I would ask a few times, hey, did you read that book? Did you like that book? Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, blah, blah, blah. So as time goes on, I'm just like, shit. I had this signed collection from this author who's now my favorite author. So finally, I'm like kind of putting my foot down saying, hey, if you're not, I want that book back. I want that book back. If then you can read it later, or you can get yourself a copy. But it was a signed copy, and it's important to me, and I want it back. Well, three out of 3, I don't get them back. Oh, they can't find it. I don't know where it went. And I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So, part 3.